Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. How the heck are ya? I am indeed Diana Clarion, the Lavender Lady, and this is the Open Chat. And it is, let's put it this way. 'Twas the night before Wednesday, and let's see here. I've forgotten it already. It's the night before Wednesday. It's really not fun. I detest the whole business of Christmas, for one. I would dearly so love to place a gift beneath the tree, but where is the joy when that gift is for me? I'd love to, I'd love to cook for someone a repast, but there's no one to eat it, so I think I'll just fast. There you go. How's everybody else? Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, we don't want you any worse, and all that other happy stuff. And I want to thank everybody who's here. I mean, we've got 8 people. That's not bad. I don't know. Is it bad or is it good or what is it? Because if you are here, there must there must not be anything that would better hold your interest. I mean, it is Christmas Eve, and a lot of people have their little things going on and everything else. And I mean, if you're here, you don't have any of that stuff going on, right? Or how is it going to go? I would hope so. I mean, I would hope to be useful in some way, and maybe this is it. I grew up in. Yeah, that's Tornado over there with his Rudolph plushie. Um, can't hear? Okay, let's see if we can fix that. I was waiting for something like that to happen. Uh, okay, properties. We will go to Yeti, and then we will go back to let's see, default. And let me, while I'm at it, have a look at what's going on the sound bar. The input is the microphone. Yeah, to hope and have that test going on. Yeah, that would not be a good thing. Yeah, we're trying the usual thing that we used to do back when this was a problem that occurred more often. Okay, I've cycled onto something and then back. How are we doing now, kids? Is Kate audible or is she still silent?
Well, I'm hoping that because I've got the sound up for me, so you might get a little bit of echo, but
Okay, okay.
and there is a bit of delay.
Is Kate audible or is she still silent?
Well, yep. I'm hearable. I'm
Okay,
hearable.
so it's the same sort of thing that used to go on a whole bunch back in the days past. For some reason, it was being nice to me for a few weeks, and it decided to be a bastard now. So, okay, at least I know
So,
that it's not fixed entirely, and I need to go through that cycling thing before the show starts. Great, no problem.
so what I was saying, I got me a gizmo here, which,
Yay.
as everyone knows, Gremlins is a Christmas movie, and thus Gizmo. Now, this is an original. Like when the movie first came out, the
Oh
tag
my.
right there says 1984. I've had this little guy for ages, ages.
Holy
So,
shit, man. I mean, we're okay. I don't want to make you sad or anything like this, but we're talking 35 years here. Oh, my
yeah,
word.
I have had Gizmo longer than I've had Howie.
Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. I tell you, that's really amazing when you look at stuff you have. And yeah, you look at it and you say, "Oh my word, I've had this before." Before I did this, or before I lost my virginity, or shit like that. Uh,
Yeah, because I lost my virginity and mumble, mumble, mumble. But anyway,
I know. Oh
yes, I was
man.
10 years old. Yeah.
Oh man.
Although, I mean, probably in an unusual reversal of fortunes, I lost my virginity before the first time I got drunk.
Amazing.
I
Amazing,
did not have
amazing,
my first
amazing.
drink of alcohol until I was 25.
Okay then. Oh my. Okay, so this is
I'm sure I've told the story before. Some friends of mine found out and said, "We're going to an Irish pub." And so, yeah, that was an entertaining experience. There's a lot more to that story, but you don't need to hear it. I'm sure I've told it before.
okay. Oh
And it's a
my, oh
bit of a
my.
digression.
Okay, a little bit, a little bit. What can I tell
Mm,
you? Okay, yeah, there's something I still haven't fixed on this thing, but I can fix it later. It doesn't matter. We get somebody out. Here it comes, and we'll yeah, okay.
I get you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. We'll see.
Probably nobody else in the chat knows what the hell we're talking about, but I'm with you.
We'll see how it goes. Oh
Yeah.
shit. I mean, there's always, yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, there it is. All right. Okay. And then we do that. Oh, there it is. And besides,
I don't know what was something that just totally popped into my head. I don't know why, as part of a George Carlin routine where he goes, "I would dearly wish that she would kiss me under the dingleberries." I don't know why that.
oh, oh no. Oh,
Well,
there's
I mean, he was saying it sounded festive and it is Christmas. So I figured, yeah, I guess that's where my brain went because this was not a voluntary thought. It just popped in there. But yeah, dingleberries.
yeah. Check your Twitter, Tornado, and you'll find something there. Uh, it's not. There we go. I knew I'd hear that coming soon. And we admit. And hello. Hello.
1978. I maybe it's an impertinent question, but how old are you, Amiga Nuts? It might take a moment to get an answer. We are a little lagged.
Okay.
Because in 1978, I hadn't yet turned 5 years old. I didn't turn five until 1980. So if the last time I'd gotten drunk was 1978, that would have been weird.
Okay, the last time you got drunk. Okay, I wasn't sure what occurred in 1978. So I just had to check that. The last time I got drunk was a little later than that, and I think it was, well, it was a matter of months, but still, I think what?
Well, the last time I got well and truly schnockered was actually on your last Christmas show. If you remember, I bought some rum and some
Yes.
eggnog.
Okay.
And it hit me so hard, unexpectedly hard. And so, yeah, I mean, I've had some booze since, but I barely even got buzzed off any of it. So, yeah, the last time I got drunk was last year. Now I have some eggnog in the fridge. I still have that same bottle of Captain Morgan, but I'm going to exercise some restraint.
Okay. Okay. That's a good thing. We like that.
We'll see what happens when it's my turn on the 24-hour stream, though, tomorrow.
Let's as a matter of fact, practicing restraint is always a good thing. I mean, everyone should do it. I know I should, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, talk about the live stream. That's yeah. I don't know. There may or may not be anybody here in the side chat who does not know if there is such a person. Purple rhymes with orange has organized a organized a marathon live stream with help from oh God, what is her name? something or other kitty, and I forget what it is. Damn it! I'm sorry. I really
Not
am.
it's not it's not Miss Shadow Kitty, is it?
No, no.
Oh,
This
I'll have
is.
to look.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look.
Because there's a lot of people with Kitty in their name these days.
Yes. What I
Anyway,
will do is.
you guys are talking about the last time
Let's
you got
see
drunk, right?
here. Tired Pirate Kitty.
That's it, Pirate Kitty. Pirate Kitty, yes. With
You
help from
got
Pirate Kitty, those two have really put together a slam bang marathon live stream. I hope some of you will have a chance to stop in, especially those of you who are in position which is all too familiar to me of having no one around. I mean, we're doing this hopefully to bring some smiles to some faces, and we'll see how well we do. And please let us know. Please let us know how well we do with making you happy and joyful and etc. 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 etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have a show planned for that, but I don't think it'll take up 2 hours. So I will probably want some guests.
Oh
So if you're
no! Oh no!
so
I just saw
what?
something. I just saw
What?
something from Purple. Did you realize you are
Oh?
starting your chat at the same time as Nutjaw's kicking off the Christmas relay? No.
Wait, yours or
Yeah,
what?
I seem to be stepping on Nutjaw.
Oh. Well, there's not a lot we can do about that, is there? I mean, the schedule's pretty set, isn't it? But
Yeah, the schedule is pretty well set, and I started at 7 only because I always start this at 7. Why don't we just have a little something going and then keep it short? Because
oh,
Nutjaw's up
wait a minute. You mean right now we're stepping on Nacha?
right now.
Oh, right. Well, I guess that makes a certain perverse kind of sense. He is starting pretty early because he's in Australia.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I had totally forgotten about the
mm,
12-hour time difference is what I forgot about.
No, of course. The
well, but
funny thing
real
about
quick, what I was saying, like I said, I have a show planned, but I don't know if it'll cover 2 hours, so I may want some guests. But what I plan to do is to explain why both Die Hard and Gremlins are, in fact, Christmas movies. I watched both of them. I watched Die Hard yesterday, I watched Gremlins today, and I have a huge list of reasons why both are Christmas movies. And some
aside
of them
from John,
are really wild. Like some of the names in people like okay, I'll spoil one of them. In Die Hard, the head of that particular division of the Nakatomi Corporation is named Joseph Yoshinobu Takagi. Now, Joseph, right there, Mary and Joseph, right? But Yoshinobu means splendid faith, and Takagi means tall tree. These cannot be coincidences. This dude was named to be a Christmas character.
Mm-hmm.
And there are
now, of
so many others
course,
just like that I can point out. Those two are Christmas movies, no question. And I'll explain why with all those other reasons. I have pages of reasons on my show.
can I say something?
Oh,
No.
absolutely.
The whole thing you guys are talking about the last time you got drunk. Well, let's just say the last time I got drunk was in 2100.
Okay.
I'm assuming you mean military time.
No,
no,
I mean the year 2100.
he's a teetotaler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't expect to live until 2100.
Okay.
So there's the joke.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Purple just gave me a ring and said, "Hey, did you realize that you're starting at the same time that Naja is starting the marathon?" And it's like, oh shit.
What marathon?
Yeah.
There's a
You
Christmas
just got done
marathon.
explaining it.
Rudolph?
Now, the one we were just talking about.
I know the Christmas marathon. So are they showing movies or something?
No, it's a marathon. It's a marathon chat.
Yeah.
It starts.
Like,
It starts now and runs for about 30 or 32 hours.
like there's a bunch of guests who are doing a Christmas show. It's about 2 hours each, but some of them are doing one, some of them are trading off. There's some wackiness to it, but for the most part, people
I
are
might
taking
hop on.
2 hour blocks and doing a Christmas show of their own.
Yeah, and I was the I was the dumb blonde over here who had totally forgotten about the 12-hour time difference. This is the thing you've got to when you're a YouTube provider, especially a live stream provider, you have to remember the time zones and all this other happy stuff. Where now I thought it was a little bit different, but not 12 hours. I thought it was a little
Well, I
longer
guess
than
I'll head
12
over there
hours. Oh, by all means, if you need to, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna send
See ya.
I'm gonna send everybody over there if you want to go on over there. I mean, we can go for a little while, and you can switch back and forth if you want to, but don't feel bad for leaving here. Like I say, the dumb blonde just totally screwed up. But it,
Well, I mean, this is a weekly thing now, isn't it? This particular chat.
yeah, it are, or at least I'm working on making it that way. I mean, this is the third consecutive week, so it might be a weekly thing by now. Um, so I mean, that's one reason for me to be doing something, and then another reason for me to be keeping it short is, I mean, Nutjaw is Nutjaw. He's a sweet, he's an absolute
Yeah.
sweetie. Now he's taken 3 hours, so
Wow.
ought not to be
Okay.
too bad. You know what I'm going to do? If I am going to look over at his
Oh,
channel.
he's already got multiple guests. I'm looking right now.
Oh, okay, fine. Because I mean, if we can keep two of us going, the more the merrier. All that stuff. Yeah, okay. Nutjaw
Uh,
Witness and
uh,
Christmas Stream from Hell. There we go. Oh, I see that. Oh my, he's got all kinds of people. Yeah,
mhm.
looks like Pirate Kitty is there, and it looks like Jen Morgan is there, and
Mhm.
um, he's not doing all that bad. He's got 24 watching. And
Yeah.
what are we dealing with over here? We've got 10. Well, okay, it's not as bad as it could be. So,
Yeah.
oh God,
I actually
yeah.
don't know. Okay.
I,
I was
I
looking at his subscriber numbers because I didn't know.
I should have been a nicer girl, I know, but yeah, I'm just curious at his
Well,
subscriber numbers. He's dealing with a couple more subscribers than I have. Yeah,
yeah.
one or two.
Yeah. Last time I did a live stream, no one knew it was even coming, and I still ended up with like 100 something. So
Oh, so yeah, we can flip back and forth as far as that goes. Oh my.
wait, what do you mean flip back and forth?
Well, I'm looking at his live stream right now, and then I'll flip
Hmm.
back to this one and look at that one and see who's here. I see some people are already doing that. Adelinda is over there, and I think last I checked, you're over here as well, aren't you? Yeah, yes, she is. Or at least as at 7:14 she was 6 minutes ago. And
Well, I'm
hi. Hmm?
I'm looking at like his stream right now, but I can't hear it because I've muted it for everyone's benefit. Because otherwise they'd be hearing Notjaw while we're talking. I will say there is one thing about his stream that already is bugging the crap out of me,
Uh
and
oh.
that
Uh
is that
oh.
there is this one chick. I don't know who the hell she is. She's got the red thing back here where she has tons of dead space over her head. Oh, that drives me up the wall. It drives me right the fuck up the wall. The former film student in me is offended, but
Oh my.
you know,
Oh my. Okay. Was that the person?
just a second ago. I don't know. For all I know, you and I are lagged at different rates on his
Could be. Could be.
thing
Could
there.
be. Could be.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. It's. I see Amanda is avoiding family. Okay. Yeah. Miro's got a lot of dead space over her head. I don't know if there's anybody else that's doing that or.
What was her
Um.
name?
Miro. Um.
Mara? Like as in stuff in your Mero. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said it in his chat. I had never heard the name before.
I'm trying to remember what her actual name is.
Oh, someone's in there named Skywise.
Oh my.
Well, because that is where my last name came from. My hippie parents gave me this elvish name, and it's the soul name of a character called Skywise.
Okay then.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Seriously, nobody in my immediate family has the same last name as anybody else.
Oh really? Okay, you did it that way. Okay. What the heck is going on over there?
Holy shitballs! What the hell is that?
You saw that? Okay.
That is like a leopard print penis.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, yikes.
Yay, that's all right. Now we're talking. Oh, shit. I mean, nothing.
I'm a wee bit nauseated over here.
Nothing I wanted to deal with or anything like that. You know, it's like I'm doing. I'm wanting all I can manage to get rid of the crap I've got, but that's beside the point. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it the do-it-yourself method. Okay? No. Doesn't work that way. What do we have? We've got the stuff going over there. Concurrent viewers 9, not bad. And then we have yay. Oh, Casey is here. Hannibal of Carthage. Meredith, that's her name. I was thinking it was Miranda, and no, that's not working. Yeah, Meredith. There we go. Nervardia is Mero. Mero is Nervardia or something like that.
I don't know, something about rutabaga.
Oh boy.
I don't know. That's one of my favoriteest words to say. I don't know if I've ever encountered a rutabaga for realsies in my entire life, but I love saying the word.
Okay. I rather like rutabagas. Okay, let me think here. I believe the rutabagas are the softball sized.
Turnipy looking things.
Yeah, it's they're all related. I mean, it's related to a turnip, which is related to kohlrabi, which is they're all brassicas.
Okay. Well, I wrote a poem once. It goes, roses are reds, vegans are from Vega, poems are hard, rutabaga.
Okay then. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's just the one I thought it was. It's the this more or less softball sized thing. The top, near the stem with the leaves, is a purplish, a reddish color, and then the lower half is a sort of earthy yellow brown thing. The turnip is smaller. It's a better sphere than the rutabaga is, and the colors. The top is a cleaner version of the rutabaga's top, and the bottom is white. And if I remember correctly, a rutabaga is actually a cross between a turnip and something else, and I forget what the something else is. But I love, any and all brassicas I dearly love. So rutabagas, turnips, kohlrabi, broccoli, cabbage, kale.
Kohlrabi sounds to me like it ought to be some sort of Middle Eastern terrorist.
Okay, then I like it.
It sounds well, today, I don't know, Egypt was rocked by a kohlrabi attack from Saudi Arabia. What it sounds like to me. I don't know.
I love it. I dearly do.
Yeah,
a kohlrabi is a sort of a greenish white, and it tastes like the stem of a broccoli.
well, I like broccoli, although I have to admit that I don't know why I like broccoli. I'm not sure I can really taste it.
I can taste
I
it.
mean,
I
maybe,
can't describe the taste all that well.
maybe it's, I mean, number one, it is a very mild taste, but number two, I think maybe part of it is just that I usually put it in a stir fry that is so spiced and sauced to the point where something in it has to have a very strong flavor to even be detected.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah.
that's probably a large part of it. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember where it was that I used rutabaga last. It wasn't that long ago. Um, it was something it was a recipe I filmed. Oh, it might have been lentil soup. I might have used a rutabaga in there.
Mm. Now I'm just picturing gazpacho soup,
Oh, I haven't.
which it's
Oh man.
not because of the actual soup, but the episode of Red Dwarf. If you remember that, where Rimmer thought that he never got to be an officer because he didn't know gazpacho soup was meant to be served cold, and so when like he was invited to sit at the officer's table, the only time it ever happened, and when the waiter brings his gazpacho soup, he told him to take it back and bring it back hot. And he's like, the looks of
Oh.
that still haunt me today. If only they'd mentioned it in basic training, I could have been an admiral by now. So yeah, it's just one of those. Someone says gazpacho soup, and my brain will immediately go to Red Dwarf.
I haven't made gazpacho in. I don't want to tell you how long it's been since I made gazpacho. Okay, it would
Why?
just.
Is that embarrassing? Really? You don't want to tell me?
It was sometime in the 70s.
No, you do mean the 1970s, right?
Right, right. It might you might have actually been alive. It might have been around, I don't know, 78, 79, something like that.
Then I was around for that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was ejected from my maternal unit in December of 75. So
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. It's
actually, it's funny, like, I've been thinking about doing a video, and the only thing that has held me back from making it is simply because I would have to do a like, I'm working on an animated project right now, and to do what I wanna do, I would have to switch gears and animate something else, so it'd be very brief, but usually when I think an animation is gonna be brief, it ends up taking me a week longer than I thought it would.
mm,
So, and the last thing I need to do is lose focus from the animation I'm working on now. But the basic idea is to ask pro-lifers if there was an option where we had some sort of uterine replicator where you could implant fetuses into a vat or a glass jar of some sort and have them gestate in that rather than in the woman, would they allow for that, or would they insist, no, you have to carry it in your body?
what?
Basically, to find out, is it about control of how
Right.
people have sex and women specifically, or is it really about this fetus needs to be brought to term? Which one
Yeah,
is it
which one
really?
is it? And
Because I was absolutely shocked, honestly, when like I saw a march of vegans protesting or whatever, trying to raise awareness, and I asked them, would you eat vat grown meat? Or would you object to that? Like, if it never had a consciousness, would you eat that meat? And they said yes. And I was like, wow, okay. So this
okay
is not a
then.
rejection of meat. It's a rejection of, oh my gosh, that dead space over her head got bigger. But sorry, I'm looking at Nacho's screen. His camera has rotated up a little. So now, like, seriously, it's almost half the screen. It's driving me up the wall. But yeah, so I mean, if vegans are flexible about eating meat simply because their principle is well defined, I want to know if it's the same thing for the pro-lifers.
Well, I do have the feeling, I'm going to be quite serious here. I do have the feeling that they have that very clear view of their. What was the sentence you had just said? Because I was going to use the word in it and I had forgotten the word. Um,
Control?
Uh,
Uterine replicator. I don't know. What did you
about
actually?
their the way they do things. And
Principles?
thank you, principles.
Okay.
Are their principles going to be um, making sure that they saddle women with children, especially unwanted children, especially children that should not be born because there are already too fucking many of them.
Mm,
Things, and I have a feeling that what we would find is it would be all about control.
hmm
Yeah.
it wouldn't shock me. But like I say, one of the things I want to do for that video is to make a uterine replicator. So, the sterile vat that you would have this gestation take place in, and have like a cute little fetus wave at the camera, to like after I say a certain line, something like, so which is it? Which matters more to you? Do you care about the fetus or the control? Have the fetus, hi, this cute little thing. But that would take a lot of work, and I am working on an animated project already, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been holding off on that video. I don't know. I mean, I suppose I could find some stock photo or something, maybe take that bit of the matrix that they had with the kid that's all wired up. I don't know, but um
Yeah,
yeah.
it's I don't know what to do about that sort of thing. If there is anything that can be done about that sort of thing, because it's not only is that whole well, Christian is a big part of it, but it's not all of it. Um, and it is not pro-life by any stretch of the imagination. But let's, as they call it, is it the whole pro-lifer thing? Or is it, something else as we've been intimating? And I don't know what to do about that problem because it is a major problem for the rest of us. I mean, those of us who are rational, those of us who have minds that work as intended, and okay, I'm going to say it, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like me for this, but for those of us who, at least in that particular arena, those whose thinking is not disordered. And I know there are a number of people, religion is not a mental illness. Well, no, it isn't. But it displays symptoms of mental illness. In a, the disordered thinking is not a mental illness in itself, but it is symptomatic of a mental illness. So would I be okay in saying that religion is symptomatic of a mental illness?
Well, I mean, I will go so far as to say that religion is definitely a delusion,
Oh
because
yes,
even if
yes.
even if it turns out there is a God, they have no way to prove it, no way to show it, so they have no rational reason to believe it, and yet they do it anyway. That's a delusion.
Uh-huh. And there are all sorts of reasons to disbelieve that God
Mm-hmm.
exists. I mean, I've gone through a number of them on my when I used to do the prepared videos, and I have to get back to that. Um,
Oh, you've been saying that for months. You're
I've been
never
saying
doing
that,
it.
I know, because there was another person. I'll be kind and call that creature a person that I was arguing with, who was so steadfast in um, the false belief and what is a delusion, but a false belief that is not um, amenable to evidence to change it. Um, it was one of SJ's followers who was
Oh,
insisting that humans are not apes because you know, they are endowed by God with what's the words I'm looking.
souls?
That's the best word I'll use. Yeah. Um,
Well, I mean, I know some people who will insist up and down that humans are not even animals.
oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like, wait a minute.
Like
So
every living non-plant creature there is an animal, except for humans.
yeah, and that's very, very paraphyletic.
What now?
Okay, the term is paraphyletic. It is a paraphyletic group is okay. All these things except this thing that really does belong here, but we don't want it here.
Hmm. So just
Um,
a big unwarranted exception.
you got it. Yeah. Like for example, all these round things that have the approximate shape of an orange are spheres, except the blue ones. You know, that sort of thing.
Well, and I mean, I get why people want to say humans aren't animals because they want to say, no, we're more special than that.
Oh,
You know,
please.
but I've often wondered because people are so Earth centric. Like whenever someone talks about, oh, I'm going to be reincarnated, they assume it'll be on this planet, that kind of thing. And so a lot of people want to say that everything except humans are animals. And I'm like, what if we meet intelligent extraterrestrials someday? Are they animals?
Well, as far as I am concerned, if they are multicellular and have internal digestive tracts, yeah, they're animals.
Well, but I mean, that's the thing is that you ask these people and they probably won't have an answer for you because in their minds, not only is it that humans are not animals, but humans are the only people. And
Right. And
I have been trying to explain up and down if you have a personality, you are a person.
person. Um,
And so that's why I refer to my cat as a person. That's why I'm willing to
mhm.
accept an artificial life form, an AI, as a person.
Uh,
Never mind, intelligent extraterrestrials are clearly people, but they want to reserve that word as a synonym of human.
I was going to mention Sylvia. I mean, she's very much a person. Absolutely. Yeah, the people here are the guy that was spewing his disordered thinking at me even said, well, it's not all about taxonomy. Taxonomy isn't everything in a bullshit. Under a taxonomic classification, not only is Coco, the talking gorilla, an animal, but we are. And not only is
Mm-hmm.
Coco an ape, but we are.
Well, I mean,
We're apes that are supposedly a little smarter than the others, although I really doubt that.
and people are really, I'm going to call it prideful. They
Mm-hmm.
want to think, oh no, we are better than that. And even if we are, that doesn't change anything about biology. The biology says we are primates, we are apes.
Yeah,
So
and
I think they find it unflattering
all
to
you have
think
to do is
that they're not that special,
right.
that they are
Yeah,
not
oh, absolutely.
above,
Yeah, they
they're not
need to
to the
be
top of the
special.
pecking order.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at, which has only been happening recently, you look at the other apes, and you see them doing the things that we thought we were known for specifically. We
Hmm.
thought we were the only creatures that made war. No, we're not. We thought we were the only creatures that experienced grief. No, we're not. Um, the list goes on. All you have to do is look carefully. I mean, the little one over here. There is so much that she does. That's holy shit, man. I'm like her. And that's the whole thing, which I've really started trying to use this phrase here. I hear so many people, oh, look at that. They're so much like us. No, we're like them,
Well, we're like each other.
pretty much. Yeah, humans are not the only animals to exhibit emotions. Humans are not the only animals to wage war. And yes,
Nope.
absolutely true, Omega Nuts.
Well,
We're not the only animals to exhibit superstitions.
Don't like insects go to war with each other?
I'm reasonably sure. I'd have to look it up to make sure, but I think so.
Yeah.
I know that chimpanzees go out on raiding parties.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think because I was saying something on the Sunday show about how conservatives specifically like to think of a pecking order, that they like that in a society. And it's not just as in a society. Obviously, humans are the top of the pecking order
Oh yeah.
in their world.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, as much as I like to reference Louis C.K., and because I think he's hilarious, there was one thing he said in one of his shows that bugged the hell out of me because even though I know what he means, he's still factually wrong. He said that humans got out of the food chain. No, because the food chain is not a chain, it's a circle. Because when humans die, sure, I mean, we're not, we got largely out of the predator prey chain where we're no longer prey unless of course we find ourselves defenseless in the wrong circumstances. But when we die, we're still eaten by bacteria. We're still broken down
Oh yeah, yeah.
by the single-celled organisms, and we may be eaten by a multicellular organism. Our corpse could easily feed like a wolf or some shit.
Sure.
So we did not get out of the food chain. I mean, I know what he means by it when he says that, but we're not out of the food chain.
No, we are an apex predator, but we still end up feeding other creatures. Yes. And sometimes those creatures happen to be humans. I mean, think of the Donner Party,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a hidden role card game called Donner Dinner Party. The basic idea is some of the players are settlers, some of the players are cannibals, and the cannibals are trying to poison everyone's food supply so they can eat the other players, or rather have to eat the other players.
Okay, here's a problem now.
And you're like, the whole goal of the game for the settlers is to figure out who the cannibals are and denounce them to the rest of the group. So,
Oh
yeah.
my word. Okay, so they're poisoning. Wait a minute, they're poisoning the food supply, so humans have to eat other humans. But the thing is, though, that the humans are eating the poisoned food, so that's eventually going to bite somebody in the ass, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the way the game goes is you figure out that the food is poisoned, and so you have to eat someone instead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so it's not like you're using the poison food to kill someone off. It's more a matter of, well, we can't eat this garbage. Guess we're gonna have to chow down on Bob.
Oh Lord.
So yeah. Oh, and Cy Strikeling just did something hilarious. Said hi to you, and then said hi to Bionic Fence. Autocorrect, but that's I don't know why that strikes me as entertaining. Bionic Fence.
Well,
I'm selling stolen cybernetic goods, is what it is. I'm a bionic fence.
did you not do something with a replace one letter, or was that somebody else that did that? Where there was whoever it was going to do bionic dunce, but did not, and did something else, which was a good thing because of Jackass that came into the last movie night giving you shit because I think he called you bionic dunce. Did he not?
He did, and I've also had people say bubonic dunce, which makes no sense.
Oh,
but
jeez.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Humor should at least make sense and not just be random words strung together. It's one of the reasons I can't stand Kyle Kalinski's attempts at humor, because like he was trying to say, oh, Amy Klobuchar should be called Amy Cloudboot Jar, which makes no frickin' sense.
No sense at all. No,
and then Beto O'Rourke became Bet on My Stork.
What?
What? The only one he ever said in any way that made any sense in any way, and thus was actually also funny, was calling Mayor Pete Booty Judge. I mean, the guy's gay. He's probably judging people's booty.
Okay.
And that was funny. But everything else he said was so cringeworthy. Like when someone tries to say bubonic dunce, I'm like, well, bubonic, find some other way to say bionic I mean, at least make your insult make sense.
Well, the bubonic refers to the boils, does it not?
Well,
Um,
I refers to plague. I don't think anyone will think about it as hard as you will, honestly.
because no, just recently I heard the explanation of bubonic in reference to the plague, and bubonic was an adjective referring to something. Oh,
The
here we go. Here we
bubo.
go. Here we go. Bubonic, causing or characterized by swollen, inflamed lymph nodes in
You
the armpit or groin. Okay, so there we go.
aren't they called like buboes or
Something
something?
like
Those
that. Yes.
particular. Yeah, that's why they call it bubonic plague. But I mean, that
Yeah,
doesn't
and
make
that
any
doesn't
sense.
even apply to you. Come on.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that if you're going to insult somebody, at least make the insult make a certain kind of sense. I mean, I get it. You want to say I'm stupid, thus dunce. I get that part, but the bubonic made no sense, and it just made me go, "You're calling me a dunce?" I mean, at least be creative with your humor. At least have a little bit of style and make it make sense.
Okay, so now I was just about to say at least the Orange Menace has insults that make some degree of sense, but okay, you get given the lie to that one because not creative at all. The whole crazy Nancy and this and oh God, okay, this is absolutely the first president or the first occupant of the Oval Office that we've had, isn't it? That engages in childish name calling. Or have there been others?
Well, okay, I'm sure there are some that have engaged in name calling, but it was probably actually clever in some fashion, where Trump is like a 5-year-old on a playground hurling whatever insult he can think of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure there's someone during World War II who came up with a great zinger about Nazis. I'm sure it happened. But, Trump doesn't have that cleverness, that ready wit. It's just not there.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, 5-year-old, you may be giving him more credit than he's due. Um,
Well, I mean, his insults were at the same level as "I know you are, but what am I?"
yeah, and this is the interesting thing. This is what a third of the country elected.
Oh, some of them even think he's anointed by God.
Oh man, I've seen those. Oh man, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, I just,
I mean, Trump is
I don't.
delivering us. He is God's right hand, and it's like, fuck you! No.
I mean, I can't even empathize. That's the thing is I've had situations where I disagree with people's preferred choice for a politician, but I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why you would like this, but I don't agree. Whereas with Trump, I'm like, how do you not see through the bullshit? How can that be the person? I mean, it sounds like people are going, I want to be a bully the way he's a bully, and therefore he's on my side.
Yes,
I
yes,
guess.
yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
that's the only explanation I can come up with
Because
at all.
I have to, unfortunately, allow that some of these people actually do like him enough to call him a savior. Now, what's that saying about them? I mean, some people may be feigning liking him because they see him a useful idiot. And as whatever it takes for us to get what we want, control over women, repression of people who are not cis and hetero, and all this other bullshit. If they would take Trump on those grounds, because he's the one that's out there and popularizing the whole. Okay, that's what you want, and that's why you want it. I get it. But some of these people are actually, yeah, he's as good as we're saying he is, or at least we think he is. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
And that's the thing though, is I'm not sure these people have thought it through that hard. I think you might be giving them too much credit. I think what they're seeing is someone they wish they were like, or someone they think they are like, and that's why they like him, is because they can relate. I mean, I don't think that they've actually gone, oh, this political decision, that political position, this plank in his platform, all of that. I don't think they've really thought it through that hard. I think they just went, yeah, he's on my side for this reason, that reason, that reason. And it's emotionally satisfying to me rather than he will do good things. It's more a matter of, I want a hero that looks like me kind of thing.
And okay, what are they admitting when they say that? It's I'm trying to think of a better character, but the only one I'm coming up with is the one from Christmas Story. So they're basically saying, "I want to be Scott Farkas," and it's like,
Yeah.
you do? Why?
Well, because they get to assert their dominance over others. That's why. They get to have other people scared of them, and they get to have their way. That's why.
And
I mean,
it's
that is the appeal, I think, of being a bully, is to make other people bow to your will and to be the top of that pecking order.
and as Casey Atheist Randy said, most of his voters vote against their own interests. Yeah, to get what they think they want, they give up what they really do want.
Well, and the thing is, we're dealing with that on the other side as well. I mean, okay, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with Tulsi Gabbard voting present, but
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
listened to her reasons for it, and I realized that she's kind of playing a longer game than most people are willing to admit, because she has a point that if we weaponize impeachment, it can be turned around on us as well, and
Oh,
it
it
can be
absolutely
used as a
can,
tool
yes.
of obstruction. And the thing
I'm
is, the
still
number
here. I'm
of
just
times
getting
I've
some coffee.
explained the whole idea of winning the battle but losing the war to people, I get a lot of just flat out Trump hatred. Now, I don't like Trump either, but this again, you can't lose sight of that larger picture. I mean, if we have to let Trump go unimpeached and go through the end of his term, then elect a better president and not set that precedent of impeachment as obstruction, I feel we have to do it. We have to sacrifice the present for a better future. But I don't see anyone willing to take thinking beyond the next election. And I think that's a real problem. Even if I want Trump impeached and removed from office, I understand that there is a larger picture here that needs to be considered, and then they won't do it. So it's just as bad on both sides.
Well, what scares the hell out of me is I am afraid of what he and his administration. I mean, it's not just Trump, okay? It's everybody. Oh God, every time I do that, it reminds me. I sound like Kent Hovind when I do that. Okay, I have to quit that. But he and his administration, I'm afraid of what they will do while they are in power. And then I'm thinking, well, the shorter their term in power is, the better off we are on that particular count.
Well, I'm seeing articles that are like the right-wing articles that are kind of alluding to something that I have suspected will come for about 2 or 3 years now, where if Trump is either impeached or kicked out after an election or whatever, he'll refuse to go. And that people will rebel and start a revolution of some sorts. There will be violence if Trump is ousted, because he thinks he ought to be, and I use this term not exactly seriously, but he wants to be emperor, and a lot of people want him to be emperor. They want him to stay in office way past 4 to 8 years. They want him to rule this country. Now, I've been told that I was being silly, that if he tries to stay in office despite the will of the American people, that there will be violence, all of this stuff. I was told that was goofy, but now the right wing is starting to talk about it. And I'm like, I saw this coming a long ass time ago, and no one would fucking listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't know. It could very well be that we are already totally fucked, and it's not even feeling good. because I have a feeling that, okay, it's not necessarily as much as he gets kicked out, his term ends, and they still want him around. Well, you've seen, or at least you've seen the T-shirts or the signs or whatever the hell they are with the Trump dynasty, and they're going all the way down to Barron
I have not seen that. No.
into 2060. Um,
And Maya says he can't refuse to go. That isn't a thing. The Secret Service escorts him out of office. End of story. That's how it should be.
Should be.
That's how it should be. I don't necessarily agree that's what will be. I think that there may be an attempt to thwart what the Secret Service will do. It may even be that he will try to surround himself with armed people that will actively prevent it. I don't think he'll succeed. I'm saying I think he might try.
And that may be enough to trigger violence in the streets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And especially in this neighborhood, it's not going to be very pretty because I live right next to Bloody Tampon. The
I
next.
don't know what you meant by that.
Oh, okay. I have this thing that I've said more than once, where Pennsylvania is one of those places where you've got basically three bastions of reason. You've got Philadelphia, you've got Pittsburgh, believe it or not, and of all damn things, you've got Harrisburg. And the rest of the state is as red as a used tampon on a heavy flow day.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and the next county over, Washington County, is extremely red. Um, you see the people coming over here with the Trump hats and the whole bit like this. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in another year.
Something Amiga Nuts just said is that, like what we were coming to, it'll be classified as a fascism period. And you're not wrong. But at the same time, I think it might be either preventable or cut very, very short, simply because we are aware of it. We have the examples of like the Nazis and their fascism and all of that stuff to work from. And but more than that, I mean, because those people probably had other fascist regimes to point to as well. But right now, we also have the internet. We're more connected. We're more aware.
Yeah.
And hopefully that means that we can get the message to enough people to prevent any kind of fascist regime from taking hold in this country. I'd like to believe that. But then again, I also know that humans can be pretty apathetic until it affects them personally. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But I'd like to believe that we will be aware enough to stop it before it can absorb us.
And as you say, I am not at all optimistic. I really don't think that anybody is going to give a shit until, as you say, it affects them personally.
And I mean, that's one of the things, like, people ask me why I make atheism videos. I mean, I'm not affected by religion much, despite the fact that I say that I want religious people to share and play nicely with the other kids. Me personally, I've never been in a situation where religion was able to fuck with me, because I've always lived in really liberal places. I've always lived in places where people keep their religion to themselves. So why do I do it? Because I see other people being hurt, and I don't think it's fair. They should have the opportunity to be free from religion fucking with them the way I've been. I want people to have that. You know, I think it's only fair that people are not as screwed with. So I do it not for me, for other people. It's altruistic, and I wish other people were more altruistic. It'd be nice.
It would be. I could only wish, I could only hope. It could also be that my days are severely numbered, as well as many others. But if I have to go out, I want to go out with a bang. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, when I finally die, I mean, I intend to live forever or die trying, but when I finally die, the question I want people to ask is, did she take anyone with her? And also, I mean, I mentioned Red Dwarf earlier, and one of the things where, like, Lister had his death predicted, And so he goes out to meet it with this big like bat in his hand, this big like cylinder thing, and then Rimmer's like, you can't whack death on the head. And he's like, look, if I'm going to die, I'm going out like I came in, screaming and kicking. So
there you are.
Yeah. Nah.
And then there's this kittiness over here doing the kitty yoga. Well, at least she's calmed down a little bit. That's nice.
Oh, I actually have not been watching our stream. I've been looking at Notchas. I don't have the sound on, but I've been looking at that. So if you're talking about Sylvia doing something, I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. No, it's what Sylvia's not doing, which is really, really nice. No more. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the problem really of right versus left is right is quite willing to use violence and quite unwilling to compromise, whereas the left wants people to get along and would prefer we're not killing each other. Mm-hmm. And that means the left is more willing to compromise where the right is not. And so the right wing tends to get their way a lot more.
Yeah.
Because they dug in their heels. And I have to admit, I wish that the left would get a little bit nastier with people. Like Bernie right now, when he's on the debate stage, doesn't really call out his opponents for crap they've done. His whole thing is, here's what I'm all about. Here's why it's good for you. And not, here's why I'm better than them. And thus you should vote for me instead.
Yeah.
So, wow, Mr. Shadow Kitty in not just chat stream just told me to stop looking at the stream.
What? Shadow Kitty doesn't like you? I don't know.
No, I think it's just that I'm multitasking right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm actually looking in on that right now.
Yeah. I actually probably should stop because what's her face's camera angle is still bugging the hell out of me. But and actually, the other one with the puppy being petted is almost as bad. Okay, I actually know like none of these people. I don't. Well, no, I take that back. I know one, just one, but the rest of them, yeah.
Oh man, no, Robert, no.
So, yeah. And yeah, what KC Atheist Randy there just said, yeah, the left cares about policy, the right cares about power. And again, like I say, the right loves pecking orders. They think there are certain people who are destined to rule, and that's just that. So they don't care as much about policy as long as they care about getting their way rather than making life good for everybody.
Yeah.
And then they accuse everyone else of being just like them because they know that they are scary. And so if it was turned around on them, it would be terrifying. So they're quite willing to wallow in hypocrisy.
Okay, there we go.
It's very frustrating.
Maybe that'll fix things a little bit. Just let me know, people over in the side, if you can still hear Kate. I closed up that hole on the upper right.
I must have missed something.
Oh, I had the screen set up to be showing the sidebar when there were 3 of us or more in the panel. But when there are only the 2, that sidebar is like a window, just transparent to whatever's behind it. And I said, okay, let me see if I can close that up on what, make a screen where that's closed. And then you have the other one that's open. And it looks like we're doing all right. So hopefully that'll work. And it's just one more thing fixed. Little by little, I'll get this all put together, and everything will be fine. It'll be good.
Well, you'd think after a couple of streams, you'd build a template or something.
That's what I'm working on. The problem here is that I can work on this template only when there is a sufficient number of people in here to get all the features working. And for example, right now, there are not enough people in here to get the features working. So I have to wait till the next time there are 3. But I think we're pretty close to the point where I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I can just screw around with it and do whatever I want when I want. I think I'm pretty much like 95% done with it anyway. Something across the top. Work on that stuff in the bottom left corner that I can do with nobody on. So that's going to be pretty good. I like it. The main thing was getting that sidebar. But hopefully everything's going to be good, and hopefully everything's working. Little bit.
I still haven't popped open that energy drink, and I'm trying to decide if I want to. I could save it for tomorrow. Or I could tomorrow have coffee instead or something. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Have the coffee with a shot of energy drink in it.
Ew. I'm fairly convinced that those two tastes will clash just a smidge.
Just out of curiosity, what does the energy drink taste like? Have you any
don't
words to put
know.
to it?
Imagine if someone were able to make battery acid palatable.
Perfect.
I mean, it doesn't taste like anything else. It is its own flavor. It really is. But it tastes like chemicals. That's all there is to it. It tastes like chemicals.
Okay, gotcha. I wonder if what is that called? May I ask?
What?
The
What?
energy drink that you're drinking.
You mean the brand or the
Yes,
what?
yes, the brand.
It's this is Rockstar is what it is.
It's called Rockstar. Okay.
Rockstar.
I'm going to write that down. And
it does taste remarkably similar to Red Bull.
I am going to see if I can find some because I'm interested in what it tastes like.
Well, if you can't find it and you do end up with a Red Bull, it will be fine. It'll yeah.
Okay. You need to understand that I have never had an energy drink.
Yeah?
At all.
Well, the thing is, if you go to that aisle in the store, you will find so many choices. I mean, like even just within Rockstar or Monster or any of the others, you will find iced tea, you will find lemonade, you will find freaking bubblegum flavor, and I'm not even kidding. They have bubblegum and cotton candy flavored energy drinks.
No, thank you.
They have every fruit combo you can think of. Like they have branched out so much that it can be confusing almost if you get anything other than, because this is the original, but they don't have a taste name for it. It's just Rockstar, and that's it. It's the same thing with Red Bull. And now so many different brands too. There's like one called Bang. And there was one, I can't remember the name of it, but it was specifically like marketed towards women, like it was Go Girl or something. I don't know. I'd have to look. But
I may take Randy's advice and just start with a Red Bull because at least you've got that consistency where you know what it's going to taste like and you don't have all those subdivisions within it.
Well, I mean, you pretty much know what this is going to taste like, too. This is pretty equivalent to a regular original style Red Bull. Okay, so if you find either one of those, just go for it.
One of the things I'm curious about, I'm wondering how close to a Moxie does it taste?
I think in my entire life, I might have once had a Moxie, and I remember it being nasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people use that adjective when talking about Moxie. And believe it or not, I don't mind a flavor. I will. Hey, I'm a Scotch drinker. Okay, I like weird flavors.
Oh man, sorry. When you said Scotch, a song popped into my head. I think I posted it to Twitter, and I think you liked it. The one about the Scotsman who was drunk.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually heard that song before, and I didn't realize it until I played it. And oh yeah, a
Uh,
lot of you won first prize.
mhm. Oh, I don't even remember where I first heard that song. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I told you the first time I got drunk, some friends of mine took me to an Irish pub, and that kind of got me hooked on Irish pub music. And so I probably found that when I was searching for like the Pogues and the Dropkick Murphys and the Dubliners and all of those guys.
Okay
And I
then.
guess that one, despite being Scottish rather than Irish, I think that one came up because it was probably tagged with like pub song or Irish song or whatever. So
Okay
yeah.
then.
I don't know if they still make Moxie Beach 8. I haven't seen it in quite some time, so probably not, but I don't know.
Let me look and see if I can see something.
There were a couple of drinks that I had completely forgotten about, but I'm in like an 80s group, and someone brought up some of these things, like Clearly Canadian. Do you remember Clearly Canadian?
No, I don't.
Oh, they were these sodas. They came in a bottle that was sort of like the Orangina bottle that had the bulb on the bottom of it. You know what I'm talking about? And it was all clear, like a Sprite, but it was different flavors. And I remember them being pretty good. And there was another one, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was called, but it was soda with all these little bubbles in it that kind of looked like the like the Thai iced tea that has the bubbles in it,
Okay.
except it was soda. I cannot remember what those were,
Well, I just went to the
but
font of all knowledge, and what we have here is, excuse me, Moxie is a brand of carbonated beverage that was among the first mass produced soft drinks in the United States. It continues to be regionally popular today, especially in New England. It is produced by the Moxie Beverage Company of Bedford, New Hampshire. Moxie was purchased by the Coca-Cola Company in 2018. Yeah, notice the use of the present tense there, so I guess it's still around. They say Moxie's flavor
I
is
would have a hard
unique.
time finding it. But
Unique, a sweet
okay,
drink
hold on.
with a bitter aftertaste, flavored with gentian root extract, an extremely bitter substance commonly used in herbal medicine. Yeah, that's what a lot of people had said at me, that it had that bitter aftertaste going. And
I found the one that I was talking about here. It's called Orbits. You see that?
oh, I know that name. Yes, 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 I know that name.
That's the stuff that had the little like gelatinous balls in it. It was almost like trying to drink a lava lamp. Um,
Oh my! Speaking of, if I ever find another one, I want to replace my lava lamp because, believe it or not, guys, that wax in the lava lamps has a lifespan, especially in the cheaper lava lamps. But we'll get around to that whenever we get around to that. It's one of those. But
well, I have this thing. It's a lamp, and I really should put it somewhere where I can turn it on and have it be visible from my desk. Because right now it's too cluttered and I have nowhere to put it. But it looks like this sort of like one of those uterine replicator things I'm talking about. But it has this sort of preserved. It has a preserved body of a gray alien inside of it.
jeez, I love it. Oh God, I want one
Yeah.
now. I want one.
So and I would love to find a place to actually put that where I can see it because I have nowhere to put it right now.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
I
Yeah.
might have a picture of it somewhere, like because I mean it's clear the hell over there on a different shelf. So I would have to find that picture somewhere if I still have it, or go take another one. I don't feel like getting up, so
Okay. Good reason to
yeah.
not
Or I
get
could
up.
probably look online. I bet you there's a picture of it online.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then there's the kitty
Oh
with.
yeah, there it
Oh
is. I
my.
see a picture online. Let me get it. Copy
Yes, I
image,
see a
paste.
picture.
I said paste. There we go. And now present now a window, this and share. That's what I've got right there.
I love it. Oh my
Yeah,
word, that is amazing.
but I have nowhere to put it. So except on that other shelf in the kitchen. So
I
Well,
agree with Beach 8. Beach 8 says, I do like scotch, but can't drink cheap scotch. Tastes like electrical contact cleaner. Yeah, I know the
hmm.
feeling. Oh, do I ever know the feeling?
Oh, I feel very much the same about rum that isn't Captain Morgan or Sailor Jerry.
Okay.
I
And
mean, seriously, I ordered a rum and Sprite once with just regular rum in it because it was slightly cheaper. And oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Even cut with the Sprite, it was nasty.
Beach, you got me thinking about this, and that's what I would use to describe the taste to me of tequila. I don't like tequila.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't know. Every time I hear tequila, my brain goes to Tukwila, which is a city near Seattle.
okay.
I just every time, like, or even if someone says Tukwila, my brain goes da 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 or whatever. No, not that. What is it? Which the one? Tequila. Da 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 da.
That
That one.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
da 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 is mana mana. Never
mm-hmm.
mind.
Oh,
Oh, half a month.
interesting. Fun fact, a
Not
major
just
internet company uses a wall of lava lamps to calculate unique
oh.
IDs for file names. Okay.
Apparently I've been invited into not just stream.
Go
um,
ahead. Go ahead. I'll shut this down, and
okay.
I'll go on over. And
All right.
yeah, I didn't mean to step on anybody. Why doesn't everybody go on over to Not Just Stream? Hang on a second and let me get the ID or whatever you want to call it. It's URL. That's what I'm looking for. It
All
is
right. Well,
right over
I
here
guess
for all those who want to go.
I guess then I will catch you evil geniuses later.
Okay, thanks for coming by, Kate, seriously, and
Sure.
everything. And I'm
I'll
going to
catch
head
you
over there
tomorrow.
myself. Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward. Come on mine, I'll come on yours. And
Rock.
God,
Well,
that
I'm gonna
sounded bad.
present my reasons for Die Hard and Gremlins first, and then I'll invite in guests.
Good enough. I like it.
All right. Later.
Okay, hon, you take care. And everybody, I want to say thanks for coming by. Seriously, I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank everybody who's not here. Actually brought a little bit of a smile to my face tonight. So I guess that's a good thing. And head over to Now Just Stream, and I'm going to head over there myself. So the end of this will be thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.